Hey guys, it's Coach Caitlin Miller from Team Edge, a co-founder of Team Edge, current Emerald coach. I am going to share with you guys some tips about strategically planning out your month. I've watched lots of top coaches do this, and we want to duplicate that because that's what works. It's proven to work, and we all know or should know by now as Beachbody coaches that consistency is key in this business. To grow this business, you have to be consistent. And even though sometimes that might not be the most fun way to do it, and sometimes maybe you'll get sick of doing the same thing, but you have to find ways to be creative, and you still have to be consistent despite of all that, because people trust you when you're consistent. Okay, people see that you're loyal when you're consistent. People don't forget about you when you're consistent. Okay, so we want people to trust us. We want them to know we're loyal. We want them to come to us when the time is right for them, not go elsewhere. So in order to do that, you have to strategically plan out your month. Your business will be 80% more successful if you do this. So this is how Team Edge has constructed their calendar. And for sake of me not having a way to prop up my camera here, you'll just have to bear with me. But these dry erase calendars are pretty affordable. This is a peel and stick one, so you can stick it anywhere. You can actually re-peel it and stick it a few times. So you could do this on your door, on the back of your kitchen cabinets, where I have it now, on your bedroom wall, in your office, and down in your workout space, you know, whatever works for you. But this is pretty affordable. Otherwise, some of the other dry erase boards can be fairly pricey, but you can certainly do this chalkboard style, on paper, whatever works for you. But find a system, get a calendar that you can see every day, just so as you walk by it, you realize, okay, that's coming up. I really need to start thinking about that. I need to start thinking of a way to advertise for that. So your mind just never lets go of what's on your calendar. That way, you're always somewhat productive. Nothing comes up by surprise, catches you by surprise. So this month for Team Edge, if you haven't gathered our Team Edge coaches, we are very consistent with our calendar. So we have the challenge group. It starts the first full week of every month. So for July, the calendar was just posted in Team Edge. Prep week is going to start July 4th, Monday. Then we have challenge group week 1, week 2, week 3 to finish out the month. We then always run a free group every month. We're starting to be very consistent with these free groups that we run, like a recipe group or a meal prep group. So right now we're going to be alternating those groups, and maybe eventually we'll just stick with one group, that same group, every single month, so people know what to expect from us, and we can really hone in and make that work for our businesses. This month, for our free group, we're doing a meal prep group. The free group is essentially a separate group, kind of like a challenge group, but it is much shorter than a challenge group. We will place people in a separate Facebook group for this free group, and it falls at the very last week of every month, the last full week, because we want to then hopefully get these people into our challenge group that's again going to start the first week of our next month. So if they're really doing well in this free group, really digging it, really feeling it, then hey, you could say, hey, why not keep up with what you're doing, keep up with this, make this a lifestyle, and join our next challenge group and have this kind of accountability, this, fun ways to post and show, you're proud of yourself for doing this and that in our next challenge group for the next 4 weeks. We also try to run another free group, more like a free event. This group, we're doing a free water challenge, and that's going to be on our like pages. Last month we did a free squat till you drop challenge, and that was in our ongoing health and wellness group called Live Well, Be Well. This month we're going to do it on our like page. So we like to offer, people that follow our page, we want to give them something to start with. So we like to run a free group on our like page every now and again. And then we like to also run free groups in our ongoing wellness group. So that way we're just keeping up with those old previous challengers from our challenge groups that we place in there, so that we just don't ever leave them high and dry. We keep challenging them with little free groups in there as well. So those are the free groups for this month. So the challenge group's the first week of every month. The free group, the last week of every month, in preparation for our challenge group for the next month. And then we're running a free water challenge on our like page towards the middle of this month. I have our coaching webinar on here. I know that's a little hard to see. And our team call. Again, the same every month. The first Wednesday of the month is the coaching webinar. The second Wednesday is our team call. Both are very important to be on if you have coaches that are, if you have prospective coaches, you need to be on there with your coaches. And then of course, all of team members need to be on the team calls for good training, for good inspiration, good tips, and just so we can all see each other once a month and chat a little bit. So the other thing you'll see on our calendar every month is when we schedule these events. So we will schedule webinar ad posts, schedule the coaching opportunity ad post. That's going to always be the Sunday before the coaching opportunity. So that way you just have a good 3 days to get an ad post up there to post for this event. We don't want to do that too far in advance because again, we run this every month and we don't want people to get sick of us always kind of pushing this coaching opportunity. So 3 days we find is good enough for that. So we'll schedule out an ad post maybe Sunday night, and then we'll maybe schedule one for Monday and maybe the night before, or Monday night and maybe the morning of the webinar, however we see fit and whatever works for our like pages. But typically we do at least 1, but up to 3 advertising posts, and that's kind of your preference. And then towards the end of the month here, we have our challenge group event that gets created and posted into Team Edge for you all to share. So we'll create this event, one of the founders usually, will create that event for the next coming month's challenge groups. In this case, it'll be August, would be the following month. And then we'll do the same the following Saturday for the webinar event. That'll post in Team Edge and you can share that to your wall. You can start sharing that and advertising for that and hopefully get people to select that they're interested or going to those events. You can mass invite to those. You can strategically invite via personal message. And I suggest to do both of those things, but just make sure when you're inviting to these things, you're keeping track of those people. We use Asana on our team as our customer center. That's what works best for most of us. We've tried other things and Asana just really works for everything we need in this business. So make sure even if you're mass inviting, if you're sending individual messages, that you're keeping track of those prospects, those customers that you're inviting to those things. So the challenge group event kicks off usually on the weekend on a Saturday, and it will be 1 week before that next challenge group starts. So it'll basically be a week in advance of prep week for the following challenge group. That way you have, when the event goes up, you have 1 full week before the challenge group starts that you can schedule out your ad posts. Okay, same with the webinar. That a webinar event goes up and the next webinar is going to be that following Wednesday, just like I said, 3 days before. So you'll know to start scheduling that webinar, those webinar ad posts and creating those 3 days before the coaching opportunity webinars begin. Because 3 days again is about adequate to advertise for the webinar. For the challenge group event, usually 1 week, 3 solid posts is what I would recommend, maybe every other day. So I know when this event goes up for the challenge group, I can share that event on my page. And then I can start to create maybe 3 more events, maybe even Sunday night, Tuesday night, and maybe again Friday afternoon, because that tends to be when people are on their computers and on Facebook. So why I'm showing you this calendar and how we do this, it's basically the same every month, so you know what to expect. But I have a dry erase board like this just to show you how you can strategically see this every day and how you can get used to our calendar, how you will know what's coming up before it comes up, and how you'll be able to just see the consistency here and grab hold of that and run with it. So